Or to join us on Insta.
All right,
on YouTube. Boom.
We're live. Okay, good.
Live.
All right, so good afternoon, good evening, good night, and hello. This is the MT Podcast. My name is The Citrus, and before I introduce the brothers, they're doing some quick admin. I just want to say today's podcast is based on motivation. And it's a word that you hear all the time. You see it in quotes. You know, there are motivational books, motivational speakers. You got a motivational friend. You know, if you're religious, sometimes you go to your motivational house to listen to good word to give you upliftment. And motivation means different things to different people. However, how you apply that motivation, we're going to dig deep into this. So what's been interesting is thank you for all those that participated. We took a survey. And we only did it today, so it's only 10 hours old, and we managed to get 31 responses. So thank you very much.
Well done.
So the feedback is absolutely amazing. And essentially, I just asked 5 key questions about motivation. Asked it to both male and female. We have a breakdown of how men have answered and how women have answered, and also what our views are. Luckily for us, we haven't discussed it beforehand, so we can keep the topic and conversation quite fluid and quite fresh and quite real. So until we get into it, I'm going to hand over to my boy, Mr. Rainman, and I'm going to let him crack on.
Right, so I know everyone's there sharing the live. Did you tell them to share the live?
I didn't, but I wanted to give a little space for yourself.
We had a little bit of pre-production, and he told us, this is what I'm going to do. You, big plan. And
well,
even say it.
I didn't do it. Just like that, yeah? Okay, no problem. No
say no more. Right, Rain_Nelson_445. To the left of me, we have
Mr. Wileycat DJ
as well.
I was going to do that after. Why are you? Of course I am. I'm hosting, brother. I got my notes.
Anyway. Right.
You know you want to start again because
no, we're not starting.
Your crew is like they're disconnected from the matrix.
You made the major error, but right, I'm going to rattle through these. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and rattle through the last week or so in regards to what's happened. So I think we have to there's a lot of musical things. Why is it always about music? I know, that's what I thought, but then when you listen to it, when you listen to what's going on, it has to be about that. But anyway, Kendrick at the Super Bowl. Did anyone see the performance?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
You didn't see it, Tongo?
No, I ain't watched it yet.
Huh? Right.
Okay.
You're laughing.
I am man like Tongo. No, I didn't watch it.
Remember how long it took for me to see Supercell?
No, that's different though. This is arguably one of the halftime show is arguably one of the biggest musical shows in a sporting event in history. I believe it was over 100 million people watched it. And out of that 100 million people, producers, did you not watch Kendrick's halftime show? Rah! No, you live on the internet, blood. You lot are mad. Anyway. Right, okay. So Kendrick's halftime show, what do we think of it?
Do you know what? I liked it.
Right.
I thought it was all right. But what made me like it even more are the reaction videos to it. So as much as the thing was probably 15 minutes long, I think it was altogether.
Yeah.
I've watched maybe 2 hours of reaction videos where people are breaking down different things.
Yeah.
And I'm finding the little Easter eggs, I think they're called.
Easter eggs, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
I would
Some
agree.
of them are genius. If they are true.
If they're true.
They are genius.
Did you hear the one about, there was that rapper, Triple X 10 something.
Where he crouches down to rap.
So he crouches down and replicates him.
And that's what Kendrick does to replicate.
Yeah.
He's passed away, right?
He passed away, yeah, he died. But
Triple extension.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the Triple X link was he did that inside of the X. And then 2 of my
Drake's exes were on stage dancing. Mad thing.
There's more to that.
Go on then.
There was an issue with Triple X and Drake because he was saying that Drake copied his style. So before he died, there was a whole issue between the two of them as well.
Mad.
There's so many layers to that whole production. It was mad.
The whole thing, like when you look at the whole PlayStation thing, you saw that there was a mad link there. what is it, 40 Acres and a Mule. He starts off with that, and then, but obviously the reference to that is Spike Lee because he's got a film company and whatnot. Safe Tongo. And then you had the.
I went me that time.
Yeah, I know.
Yes! Finally met me! Yes! Yes!
There's still time, homeboy. But yeah,
don't jinx me, don't jinx me.
But I personally think if from a deeper point of view, and people might not want to hear this, but from a deeper point of view where you have an artist that is proper hip hop doing 15 minutes in the Super Bowl, doing what he wanted to do, and then doing the diss track. Remember, he won a few Grammys recently for a diss track. He's gone onto the Super Bowl and arguably done the biggest tune of last year on TV. And Drake is out there fighting drones. You've seen that?
Fake. I think it's
I thought it was fake as well. I thought it was fake, but I just thought it was really good. But moving on, Drake is headlining Wireless 3 times. So he's doing the Friday with somebody else. He's doing the Saturday with the Mandem. The Mandem is supposed to be Boy Better Know and a few others, and then he's doing the Sunday with Vybz Cartel.
Pum shorts.
So 2 things: is any of us gonna go to see Kartel?
All of a sudden, I'm going Wireless. But I think the tickets sold out already, though, I heard.
They sold out. £180, I think, was the starting ticket. I believe so. I haven't checked that. Wiley might be able to check it.
We're out for that all 3 days.
No, not as far as I know. I don't know. I'm not going because I feel that I'm of an age that I can't go to Wireless because it's going to be full of 16, 19, 22, 26-year-olds, and I don't need to be a part of that. So, but you're saying that. Am I right in saying that?
I don't think you are. It's funny. I was watching another clip of a podcast somewhere where people were saying people are going to Wireless. If you're over 30,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be going. I don't see anything wrong with anybody going to something like a Wireless if you're over a certain age, personally, because I know of people that go with their kids and they're in their 40s, mid-40s or so, and their kids are in their teens. I know people that go by themselves. If that's the case, something like a City Splash, which people would go to, would we say that you're meant to be too old to go to that? So
No, but City Splash is different.
Why?
Because City Splash is
caters to so when you go in there are how many different stages, there are different types of music, there's different energies in there.
And then think of it like this: the
Wireless has
headliner,
different stages and stuff as well, though.
the
don't it?
headliner for City Splash one year was Chronix. The headliner, Chronix applies to an older crowd. The headliner for this year event is Drake.
This
the year
year?
before,
Oh, glad.
who was it? Was it Travis? No, it wasn't Travis. Can't remember. But anyway, so I just think that.
But so here's the thing now. So if we're saying
We're going to speed this one up.
no, but my point is on the subjects of Drake. We're saying so. What would we say would be the age range maximum you should be to be able to go to Wireless, ideally, in that regard?
I don't know. I just think about what I saw a couple years ago in Finsbury Park, where the youth then were jumping over the fence, jumping through the fence. One, and
weren't
then
even
after
youths,
the
though.
event, they went to go KFC. And in my mind, I'm thinking like my little cousin who is 19 is going.
The reason I'm asking that question, not to cut you, the reason I'm asking that question is if we think of it, Drake's had effectively a 15-year run in it. So if you was to say there's like people that are 25 or so, realistically they weren't really out there at the age of 11, whereas people that was about 20, 30 or so was out there when he started his run and was there when his run was continuing. So if we're looking at, if he had a 15-year run, can we really say we at our ages was not there when that run was happening? Why would we not go? Do you understand what I'm saying? If it's someone who is just out now as a fresh artist, I can understand. But he's had a run that has covered over our age range of us going out to where necessarily you may say we don't go out as much, but we would still recognise certain tracks and certain things from that time.
Music is for everyone,
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
For
All
everyone.
ages.
It's more the environment. But let's move on quickly. So from Jake down and Kartel.
Wait, can I quickly say one thing about that
on.
weekend? Why isn't there a day just for UK people? Why has Drake got to be? I feel like it should be a day where there's, especially as a 20-year anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Then there should be a day directed for the UK artists. There's enough UK artists that could headline a day and smash it.
I got into some online beef about that, you know.
Matty.
You did?
Because I was asking a question because it says Drake and the Mandem, and my point
why
was,
is he their backup dancers?
this is what I said. I said, how can you be Mandem? How can you be backup dancers in your own country? Like you're not named. There's no names of the artists. People was all saying things like, yeah, you know what, but we don't know who the artists are. It could be all special guests. Cool, put special guests. When you're just encapsulating these headline artists who would headline anywhere else in any of our events in this country as the Mandem, effectively you're saying everyone who comes, and it could be a massive lineup.
It's gonna be nothing.
Pure credit to the lineup, it is, but they're just gonna be known as the Mandem. That for me, I think that's a bit of a disrespect, but that's just what I took. But the responses I got from some people, you would think that I'd killed their family member or something. It was mad.
Right, I'm gonna move on swiftly because Dean's there.
No, we're good.
Stretching his brown. So, Kartel on the Sunday Wireless MOBO Awards. Vybz Cartel was brought out by Spice. Did anyone see that?
No, I didn't.
So basically, Spice did. So Spice performed right at the end of the MOBO Awards. So after all the awards are given out, shouts out to Bashi who won Best Album, and I think he should have got that. If you haven't listened to Bashi's album, I would say, like, if you don't listen to UK music, get Bashi's album. I think it is called "To Be Poor Is Expensive" or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Listen to the album. For us, the ages that we are, if you listen to the album and you don't cipher with something in there, something's wrong.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah, something's definitely wrong. So I'd say definitely listen to it.
Yeah, so send me the link for that, yeah, Rain. I know you got the link.
Well, no, Wiley's.
Yes.
Actually, Wiley could probably send
I
us
have the link for that.
Shouts out to
Wiley's got the
Scorcher
record
as well.
tunes.
Shouts out to Scorcher, Totty, won Best Grime Act, obviously deserved. There was loads of other awards, but those are the ones that
When was the MOBOs anyway?
It was in Newcastle.
When?
So Vybz was over here.
Right. Firstly, 2 days ago, Vybz Cartel was in Newcastle.
Wow.
He did the show. So anyway, he did 2 songs and then splurted. And I thought that was it. It's a big thing, but still not the Kartel that we're used to. And I know there was a lot of people in there that were hyping and saying rare tear tear, but there was a lot of people on social media that were saying, right, good for Kartel doing that, but what you've done there is not the Kartel that we want to hear. So he did I can't remember what the songs. He did the song with Spice,
Romping Shop.
Romping Shop,
Yeah.
and I think he did Clark's.
Yes.
I think. But everyone was saying, right, where's the Wicked Man song that you used to do?
He come out for 2 songs, bro. It's not a concert.
We'll do one Wicked Man song and do one Spice song.
He's doing it for a UK commercial audience.
Well, no, he's doing it for black people in the MOBOs. Music, what is it?
Yeah, I know the MOBOs is.
Yeah.
As it was supposed to represent, but the audience of MOBO,
Yeah.
filtered out a long time ago and became diluted, and it's not. When it first came out, it was more directed to black people.
Yeah.
But then they used the specific naming of it,
Black Origin.
Yeah.
Yes.
to bring in this white man won the Best Reggae Award. This, you understand? So because he made music of black origin.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So the audience now, why do you think it's not hardly ever in London anymore? Why do you think it's in Scotland, Newcastle, and all these places that they have it for?
So are we saying that the people that are not black, that are listening to music of black origin, don't want to hear the Wicked Man songs?
I'm not saying they do or don't. What I'm saying is, as an artist, when you perform, you perform to your audience. If you've got sense, Like if a DJ is selecting, he's not going to play, I don't know, classical music to a bunch of people that you can see that they're hooded up and they're into grime and trap and all that stuff. It's not going to make sense. So they play to your audience. So it's a commercial event. It's a national event. He's got to mind his P's and Q's.
Yeah. Well, no, because what they did, they brought out some R&B artists. Shola Amma started it, and some other ones that I don't know about. But there was one girl who ended it. She was swearing. No P's and Q's was being minded. F this, F the X, F.
I'm going to about those P's and Q's.
All right. Okay.
Cool. Right. So got to mind his P's and Q's. So keep it commercial. Keep it the ones where everybody knows it. It's what made him, like Clark's made him a national more internationally known.
Yeah.
Likewise, did Ramping Shop.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So keep it. Stick to the devil you know, innit?
So the tech body.
True, but you understand what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Have you got a comment to make on it?
No.
Right, I'm going to move on swiftly. So I'm going to keep it music-ish, and then it's going to get political. So a lot of these guys, you're not going to know this person. So a guy called West Side Gun, yeah?
Yep, I know him.
He is doing a show for the first time in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Where's he from?
He's from America. He's a rapper. Proper
I think I've
hip-hop.
heard of him.
He's a proper
Griselda.
Griselda,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yes.
However, so I booked tickets, so I'm going, right? Now, when you know the thing where you press they ask you if you're male or female, gender. When you've done these things before, how many genders have you seen?
2.
Yeah.
Two?
Two
genders,
and then you get
2 genders and
I'd rather
3
not to
options.
say. Yeah.
Rather
Male,
not say.
female, prefer not to say.
Right, okay.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I'm going to, so this is what, so Resident Advisor was the platform where you could buy the tickets.
Yeah.
So I went onto Resident Advisor, was going to go and book my ticket. Now this is the list of genders. So agender, androgynous, bigender, female to male, FTM, don't know what it means, gender fluid, gender non-conforming, gender questioning, gender variant, gender queer, intersex female, intersex male, neither, so neither male or female. Then you had nutritious, non-binary, other. Then you had pangender, trans, trans female, trans male, trans man, trans person, trans woman, trans asterisk, trans feminine, trans masculine, transsexual, transsexual female, transsexual male, transsexual man, transsexual person, transsexual woman.
Sorry, you didn't say male or female in that whole list.
That was probably at the top. Is that at the top?
No, you never said that at
I
all.
didn't. But it was in there because I had to put male. I put male.
That's a mad thing.
It's
That's like a whole form in itself.
you know what it is? It's in order, and companies have got to be like this because you have to make sure you encapsulate everything. And it's the same thing to a degree. It's a similar thing that happens with race, but it is a thing where you have to make sure you cover everything, because what's going to happen is the one person you don't cover is the one person that's going to say, I'm offended you haven't put me down. So you have to cover everybody.
Male,
you have to cover
female,
everybody.
other, please specify.
They haven't,
Done.
But I guarantee they haven't
Other,
covered.
please specify. Done.
That's what I think. And I think you can't cover everyone. It's like, and I use this flippantly, but if this was a form in Africa and you had to list every tribe in Africa to be fair, how many would there be on there? Right, that's the answer to the question, isn't it? There'll be loads. So I struggled with it. I struggled with it because I've remembered it. I forgot about the artists that I want to go and listen to and thinking, rah, what's all this about? But anyway, moving swiftly on, musically, but still it's political. Stormzy. Did Stormzy sell out by doing the thing, rah? Did my man turn around to have
The McDonald's advert.
It's a focus on your mouth.
The
bruv.
producer wants to get involved in the conversation.
He did a collaboration with McDonald's. I think it's called the Stormzy Meal. And McDonald's have been known to be supporters of Israel. Stormzy was a big supporter of Palestine. Before the deal was announced, or before the information came out on social media, he deleted all of those posts which says free Palestine,
Me never
I
know
support
that.
Palestine, and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't know that.
I'm telling you. So,
So now I
did
heard that.
Stormzy sell out?
Sounds like he definitely did, but I don't know the full story because I haven't.
No, I've just told you the
followed
full
none of
story. I
it.
just told
I mean, yeah, I haven't followed none of it. But to me, I was thinking, this meal thing's an idiot thing. That's a standard, normal meal. It's not like he done anything extra. It's like he said, can you make my burger special with no onions and no gherkins and this? He just ordered any old food. I said, that's my meal, boom. And they said, yeah, let's promote that. It makes no
You
sense.
see, I'm passionate about McDonald's.
I don't even eat McDonald's. It's just foolishness.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think he sold out, but I think he put himself in a precarious position. When you jump out the window and you start talking politically about things that no one has asked you for your opinion of, you put yourself in a position where anything you say that contradicts what you said before makes you look like a fool. Now, I don't think he's necessarily sold out, because I think there's a lot of hypocritical talk from people talking about what they would and wouldn't do. I wouldn't do this for the bag. All that talk for me don't mean nothing. But I think where his mistake was is if you're going to jump out the window and make a political opinion on something that no one has asked you about, be aware there are going to be repercussions. And the fact that he deleted all the posts before makes it even worse.
Dean, you got a comment on it?
I don't think he sold out. No. What I think he has done is, as Wiley cleverly articulated, is he's put himself in a position where his moral compass is now being questioned.
Right. Okay.
And as soon as you put yourself in a position where people are going to question your moral compass, they start questioning you as a person, start questioning you in all of your arguments. So nothing now holds water. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I've got to be honest. Just the other day, I was down in Croydon, and I went to see a performance in the Brit School. Shout goes out to the Brit School.
My thing.
And in the car park of the Brit School is where his murky FC.
Oh, the football team.
The football team's there, and obviously I didn't know it was there. I just walked in. I just saw the big sign. I was like, oh, this is good. But when I was there must have been about 120 people. I would say there or thereabouts. So there were teams playing, there were teams waiting to play, there were people just getting food, there were people just standing around talking. And I was thinking, this was wasteland.
And he's done something with it.
He's done something with his position to bring something to his local community in Croydon.
His philanthropy is brilliant.
So when I look at things like that, at the end of the day, you might think I'm this, that, and the other today, tomorrow, but
I'm still doing
the stuff that I'm doing that I've done. If I know what I'm doing for the greater good, I couldn't care less what anyone thinks about it.
Well, this is the thing, and this might be a bit controversial. Not my standpoint. This is a response I saw. So they were saying, right, so Stormzy is African, yeah. He has said his thing about so he's done that thing with McDonald's and supported Palestine from before, but they said, when Africa or when slavery was happening, did anyone in those regions say anything in regards to slavery? Now, this is not my comment. It's not the words of the MT podcast. I'm just putting it out there. What would be your thoughts on that?
Say that again?
Yeah,
no. I get what you're saying. So basically, the crux of it is when there were things happening. I won't say slavery. I'll say when there was. Yeah, but what I will say is when there was things happening in South Africa,
all right,
and there was apartheid, let's say, for example, what did the Middle East and some of those regions do to combat against the apartheid?
Or even to speak out. That's what
to speak out. Now, I remember, and I remember there was some countries that did jump out the window against apartheid. Now, the reason why I use apartheid, because it's something that can be looked up and easily found. As apart from slavery being so many years ago, it becomes difficult. But apartheid was something that the British were supporting, that the Dutch were supporting, that a lot of the Western countries were supporting. It was very much nobody jumping out the window. But some of these countries in the Middle East and in other areas were. So I look at it, I don't think it's necessarily about what were they doing, what were you doing for me in Africa. It's about if you see injustice and you speak up against injustice, I'm all for it. So in this circumstance, I don't think it's about what did they do when these countries were under attack or things were happening there. Did they jump out the window and speak against injustice in general? If you're speaking against it, I'm in support of you. Some of these countries have done that. So I would say, yeah, some of them have been very silent. But it doesn't mean that we, and in his case, him, shouldn't speak out against injustice in that regard. So that's what my take of it is.
Any comments, or shall I move on?
No, you can move on.
Right, quick one. Jesus Christ Superstar. Does anyone know what that is?
Yes.
Andrew Lloyd Webber play, isn't it?
Musical, it's a theatre production. So they have now cast Cynthia Erivo, who was in Wicked. So it's the black woman, bald head, nose thing, blah blah blah. She's been cast as Jesus Christ.
The producers are having they're struggling to control themselves over there, you know.
I saw Nick Ferrari on one.
passer on beef.
Beef, straight beef.
Why?
Well, yeah, but
Why is the question?
What's in it? So she's playing Jesus Christ
It's an actor. She's acting in a role. What would be the issue?
because Jesus Christ apparently is a white man with whispery hair.
But here's the thing: he's not a white man with that hair, and we know that. So if we can accept all these pictures of a white man with long blonde hair and whatever, then we can accept a woman with the nose rings and the
I'm
it's
sorry.
an interpretation.
If what's his name?
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
No. There's a classic film where a white man plays an Egyptian king.
not Yul Brynner.
Yeah, there's
Is it
Yul
Yul Brynner?
Brynner.
Yes.
There's Elizabeth Taylor. Plays Cleopatra.
Yes.
So if all these white people can play these blatantly black people, why can it not be the other way around?
I see no issue with it.
Why can it
personally.
not be the other way around?
Producer wants to get in on
Plus-
the podcast. You know, he's
Jesus-
around enough times.
Really and truly was definitely a black person, so a black person playing him is even better.
The only issue I could see is that it's a woman, but I don't have no issue with that because it's a person interpreting a role in a play, and ultimately that's what it is. It's a play. Whether it's meant to be Jesus Christ or not, Jesus Christ wasn't calling himself a superstar, but the play is accepted as that. So it's not meant to be a realistic interpretation of the Bible because it's not a Bible play. It's a theatre play, innit? It's a musical.
True.
So if you can accept songs and things that weren't in the Bible, you can accept someone else playing it, as far as I'm concerned.
Citrus.
It should be a man.
Buddy.
No, it should be. It should be. It's like for me, even if you're not a devoted Christian, there are certain aspects of Christianity that you buy into, and if you believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, the Son being a man, then if you're going to represent that, it should be a man. I don't care what the man looks like. I never saw Jesus, so I don't care what I don't care what anyone's theory is. I didn't see him, so it really doesn't matter. All I can say
Jesus.
is all I can say.
Jesus heard him.
Yeah, all I can say is really and truly should be a man. But if she got the job and she does a good job, then congratulations.
And
to
you
her.
know what? She will probably do a good job. She's a good actress. I haven't seen Wicked. It's not something that I would watch. I don't care for it in the cinema, in the theatre, and all of that. But I don't know. It was
I saw it in the theatre, but I haven't seen the film of it.
I really didn't see it.
She's also gay as well.
The theatre is bad way.
Oh, so,
Theatre show of Wicked is bad.
so
Wicked.
producer.
Literally.
So is that a bad thing because she's playing Jesus and she's gay?
Let me ask you one question. Did you see the Olympics, the recent Olympics?
Yes.
Did you see the 12?
So he just said,
Yeah.
if you saw the Olympics,
yeah.
and saw the depiction of the Last Summer.
The Last Supper.
I didn't see it.
I did see all that.
So
What's that?
I
Sorry?
don't know if the producer's being heard on the microphone, so you might want to
This
repeat.
is
Okay, what he said.
Yeah.
So I'll say it again. He just said,
It's in line with that. So when I'm thinking about a gay woman playing a religious historical figure.
Yeah.
This is someone that Muslims and Christians
Yeah.
as a figure of a prophet or God, whatever. I think that's so disrespectful in a lot of different ways. The same way the Last Supper was as well.
Right.
Okay.
So basically, what the producer just shared with us is his belief is that it being a gay woman representing a man who reflects in religion and religions across the world, to make it a gay person is like a double slap in the face.
Right. Okay.
Very disrespectful.
You know,
he said.
and very disrespectful was the words that he used, and I can't disagree with it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to move on swiftly. Spanish football boss fined 10 grand, you know.
10 grand.
10
That's
grand.
like charging me 10p, bruv.
To him, maybe. So, just a bit of background. So, in the Women's World Cup or Euros, whatever it was, they won something, and then he held her and then kissed her on the lips.
Yes.
She then put in a grievance, inverted commas, and then it went to court, and now he has been fined £10,000 for kissing her, apparently forcibly. Spanish High Court as well. In fairness, it was 10,000 euros, £8,275. What's our thoughts on that?
Nonsense.
It's you have to accept it because she says I didn't consent, and that's enough. She didn't consent to it, then he overstepped his position and put her in a position she wasn't comfortable with and shouldn't have done it. Some people could see it as assault.
I was about to say that. Does that not count as sexual assault?
Well, no, he's been done for sexual assault.
So he's been done for sexual assault, and the fine was that amount.
Yeah, £8,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
Why?
But I say it's crazy because I liken it to if somebody was to say something racial to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect them to get a slap on the wrist fine like that. I'm expecting not jail time. I don't expect to go to jail, but certainly in the position you're in, position of authority, position where you're highly regarded, all those things have to be counted into whatever your punishment is going to be. You're not some random person on road who won't know better. You're someone in a position of authority, a position of importance where you are a governing person. All those things added together, if that's the out. But then, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised because we've seen what happens when there are racist things happening in Spain in football and the punishment given there. So this doesn't surprise me. This don't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest.
Tongo, any comments?
None for this one.
Right. Going to move on to the last one. Lily Phillips
Lord of mercy.
apparently is pregnant. So Lily Phillips, to give you a bit of context, was the woman who slept with 100 men, I think it was, and now it comes out that
In one day.
in one
In
day,
24
sorry,
hours.
Yes.
in 24 hours, one day, yes, she is now pregnant. I don't even know what the question is. I don't even know what I'm asking you.
Who's the father? That's the question.
No, but
100 DNA tests.
But
God.
is that this? I can't think of.
Is
what-
that news for one?
Well, no, it is news because it's out there. We are in a society now where the most trivial, stupid things are making the news. This went viral. You know what I mean? We've got stupid stuff that goes viral. So unfortunately, we mention it. We don't have to spend much time on it. But is it like she is? Well, look. Firstly, the picnic might not be for any of the 100 man.
Yeah, I wonder about the timing for one.
I-
Because we don't know how much months it is. It hasn't been mentioned.
Yeah, but then she could have been pregnant when she was doing the. Imagine that. Let's think about the child that potentially is.
That's
gonna be
where I was thinking.
the child that's potentially going to be born of Lily Phillips. What is that her career going to do to that child?
Nothing.
By the time that child is
Of
grown,
age.
of age, they will well and know what their mum has done.
Yeah.
They
children at school are mean.
Realistically,
Listen.
what can happen in school? What can happen in school or in environments where someone can say, "Oh, your mum was slept with 100 man." You're going to hear that all the time. You will know that's what your mum did, and probably the money that she's going to get from interviews, whatever it is, will put her in such a position. I would expect, I would hope, if that's what you've done, to where she can actually put herself away from certain things being a problem for her.
So imagine, like, just to give you guys scale, 10 years ago. What was happening 10 years ago? Big Brother? Was Big Brother on TV 10 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Name me 3 Big Brother contestants.
Nick,
Nikki, Nick and Nicole.
Nicolzi,
Nick the Nicolzi.
and the light-skinned man.
The woman that does
Do you know what?
Good Morning.
This,
Yeah.
I've
this
forgotten
is,
her name.
This is my
Her.
point. We don't know because it's not relevant. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is what you have to remember is, yes, it today is viral and whatever else, but in 8-10 years time, when, for example, that child's been brought to school, and the mums or the dads will be like, she reminds me of someone, blah blah blah, or say if she gets married to someone else, she changes her surname. Or, there's so many different. Like, if you don't remember them, you don't remember them. Do you get what I mean? And it's not going to be
get
that. It's not going to be that visual. And if she's done all of this to secure the bag that sets herself and her child up for her life, then you know what I mean. Do your thing. I'm not here to judge any of that. Do you get what I mean? What I'd be more concerned about if there was a child observing today. Do you get what I mean? If there was a child in her life right now,
Oh, right, she had a child.
right now, yeah,
But-
and all this was going on.
But some porn stars have children, and they do
Yeah,
get-
and as long as you can separate your porn star life from your motherhood or your parenthood, then
Well, you
do your
can't.
thing.
I don't think you can. With
All
the
right.
age of the internet, once you put something on the internet, like there is a famous, I say famous, there is an influencer out there right now, female, who when she was down, I wouldn't say out, but when she was down, she was doing security work and whatnot, turned to OnlyFans. Now she's in a position where she's doing a lot of good stuff and making music and whatnot. That stuff that she did will never, it can't die. Like it can't die. She can't escape that. When she has kids, she can't escape that. I'm not saying that you have to think about what you do, like Days of Future Past and all that, X-Men, but that is there forever. Once it touches the internet, it's there forever. And that's going to be with that. Whatever she does, it will be there.
I just want to say, you have to remember, children are mean. At school, when it comes to them cussing each other and name call, they will find out what they need to find out.
Hey, man,
that child's going to get bullied. That child's going to get bullied. They are going to find out.
I think
because it exists and it's not going nowhere. And they will hear a whisper of something. Once they hear something, they'll go down the rabbit hole and try and find out the information. Once they find out the information, school's going to be all over the school. It's going to be problems for that child.
I disagree. I disagree. I think she's gonna. I think the Lily Phillips, the mother, she's gonna reinvent herself. And what's gonna happen is society and the world will allow her to reinvent herself. And we've seen.
Yes, but history won't escape.
Look at Jordan. Kim Kardashian is a billionaire, but what was she known for? She was known for a porn film with Ray J. Was it Ray J said, "I made this family famous with my dick"? That was the name of one of his albums or something, innit? Or he had a picture like that.
I think that's slightly different, man, because she was in a relationship with Ray J and then that leaked, or the mum leaked it on purpose to catapult them. This is a woman that has put out an advert and said, I'm going to have sex with 100 men in this period of time. Come, let's do this.
What about Jordan?
What has she done?
I was about to say that.
But what has she done?
What has she done?
Yes.
Slept with a hell bag of man.
She slept with 100 men in one day and advertised it.
No, but she's advertised her assets. She was a paid free girl, bro. Do you know what I mean? That was her thing. Wait. That was her thing. And then she moved over to making
and
adult
totally
films,
reinvented herself.
And then reinvented herself. She was writing children's books. You know, she's on TV talking on This Morning and all them kind of TV shows and whatever else, and literally reinvented herself. And for me, hats off to you. Do you get what I mean? If our lives are documented,
oh shit!
Do you know what I think it is?
And we had to reinvent ourselves. Jeez.
I'll tell you what I think it is.
I couldn't.
The motivation.
Set me down now.
The motivation she had was to do something to propel herself into the spotlight. That has now put her there. It's now for her.
What you do in the spotlight.
Yeah, what she now does with it, whether she now says, you know what, I'm going to write a book, this is my life story, this is why I did what I did, I did it for whatever reason, and it now becomes, you know what, I'm now going to reinvent. I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure, this woman is going to reinvent herself in about 4 or 5 years' times. This will not be the big story about her. There'll be other things she's doing that it will be, yeah, she's the woman who slept with 100 men, yes, but actually she's now, I don't know, Good Morning TV presenter.
She ain't getting there.
She only. I don't know nothing about the woman to know what her articulation is like. But I know
her next ambition was she wants to sleep with 1,000 men,
and she was vexed with the other gal for doing it before her.
The ex-bedroom,
apparently.
Well.
Yeah.
So what you didn't add is the reason why she exposed it is because the ex-bedroom said, I'm having cravings, and posted a photo the day before.
Yes, that's correct.
Of her eating.
It was a pickle with chocolate sauce, dry noodles with and chicken nuggets. And the reason I know that is because I literally read the story today and I remember it.
You lot are in deep. I didn't know about all of that.
Yeah.
Mad.
I read the story about it today. That's how I remember.
When you turn up, I have to make sure I'm up to the
prepared,
time, down to the
times. You're motivated to know the information for the podcast.
Okay.
There you go.
We're gonna move on. Enough shenanigans. So that was Rain's roundup. I'm gonna take that one. Safe shouts out to Buddy, who we think might have left the MT podcast because Miss Truce took his place. But we might see him again soon.
You know what? Shouts out to Miss Truce as well because she was here and she did very well filling in for the truth.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hand over to our host.
Yep. So what's going on, people? Hope you are good. Good evening. Welcome to the MT podcast. My name is The Citrus. And to my right, you have...
Man like Tongo, you done know Medea.
And opposite Tongo, to the far corner, you have...
Mr. Wileycat DJ.
And beside Wileycat, the one and only.
Rain Bomber Clark Nelson in the building.
And today's
yeah.
podcast is based on motivation, the motivational blueprint. So what we thought about is, what can we do to reflect motivation and how motivation works within our lives? What we did, we sent out a survey, which was responded by 31 people. Thank you very much. And that was all done today. So we're really excited. The boys have no idea of the results. I've only got them here on my phone, so I will be referring to my phone. I'm not trying to be rude, but I just want to make sure I'm accurate. Within this, within the motivational podcast, firstly, I want to understand, gents in the room, what motivates you? Wiley.
Happiness.
Oh.
Happiness is my biggest motivator. If you, in my various roles that I do, especially in one particular role that I do where I'm a trade union representative, my happiness comes in winning a battle for those who are not able to fight for themselves. So for me, I'm a person who likes a positive vibe around me. I like being happy. I like the joy of things. So for me, happiness is my biggest motivator, without question.
Tongo.
Haters.
Is your motivation?
Ooh. Yeah, haters. Proving them wrong.
Can you share that? What do you mean?
All right, so when you got someone that's might be secretly hating on you, or even overtly hating on you, and you know you can't do that, or they're trying to hold you down or hold you back, or limit you, or I don't know what else I could say, but yeah, the fact that motivates me to push that. I say no, and to show them that I can do whatever it is they're hating on. So that's what I mean by haters.
All right, Rain.
Mine is like what Wiley said, is happiness. I don't know if it's about happiness because I'm helping other people. Motivation for me is selfish, and it's for yourself. So I just want to be, my motivation is to be happy. So if I've had to, when I was younger, work very hard to get to a point now that I can buy anything I want, arguably being happy, I've done that. If it's a thing that I've had to, I don't know, I'm happy when I go out to restaurants. So you go to different tier restaurants and you go higher up, and then you think, oh yeah, the higher up ones are good, and then you come back down and you think, oh, the lower ones are good. It's just, happiness is just it. I don't know. It's hard to explain it into a context of it. It's a motivator. But as long as I'm happy, I'm motivated to do what I need to do, whether it be get up and go to work, whether it be drive from where I live to come to the podcast. Not saying that the podcast is a chore, but you know, mentally you have to kind of, like, some of us live very close and some of us live further. But if I'm in a good mindset, and maybe that's the better word for me, having a good mindset that I'm going to get down here, I don't worry about the journey. It could be in Birmingham. I know that if I'm in a good mindset, I'll do that. It's a minor. So happiness is an answer, but a bit different to what Wiley said.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And I'll say
yours?
for me, mine is something that motivates me, that genuinely gets me going, is, and I do like the happiness. I know we said haters energy, and I'm like, that has to start in a dark place. I don't know how I'll propel myself
I was going to come to
high
that.
enough off that, but it's and I do like the word happiness, but I think it's I think it's joy that you bring to the people around you, or the joy that comes together when we are together. So to make it make sense, when you, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of something really silly. So like with my son, for example, when it's time to take him out, if I take the football out the boot, his whole face changes. He just glows. Do you know, he's like, oh, we're going to play football, even though it's raining. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got my coat on and whatever else. So all of that kind of joy just feeds my whole spirit, tops up my whole cup. Similarly to just something really simple, like, do you know, like if you're walking through a door and you hold it open for the next person, And they're like, oh, thank you very much. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that. And you're like, you know what? I actually like that feedback. I like that positive energy coming into me. I'm going to hold the door for the next 10 people and I'm going to get 10 times that amount of energy if that's what I was looking for in that moment. But any incidences or acts that can bring that level of joy and appreciation into my space allows me to propel. And that's something which I find is really, really, really good for me. This is for me. Now, there's a long list here.
Right.
So I'm only going to pick a few out, and then I'd like us to talk about it. So we asked, someone else just, 32 people now.
Bad team.
Have just, someone on the live has just responded. So these were the responses. Happiness. Again, happiness comes from food, friends, family, the weather, and my car. Another one said my family. One person said, I would say my children, but if the question wasn't asked, I don't think I would have thought about it. I just try to do with whatever life throws in my way. Before children, I would say family and family connections. Another one said career success. Another says family life, family stability, personal growth. Family, God, personal growth. God. Peace, my family, my career. To not be a waste man. Family and personal
Motivated
growth.
to not be a waste man. Wow.
Career and relationships, family, career and financial security, family success, religion, money, health, family and growth. And the last one says survival.
Ooh, motivation. That's okay. Cool.
Now, I don't think we need to tackle any one response, but what was your general feeling from the feedback we got from those who answered the survey?
Lots of people said family.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's
Automated response.
Is that a cheat code?
a phoenix from the flames, isn't it? It's like I'm at a negative point, and some of these responses are I've got to rise up above it, and not being disrespectful, but the whole thing about haters, I agree, it has to come from a negative place.
You have to be in a negative space first to then move into a positive space.
Exactly. So I'm going to get motivation from the haters, but the haters were hating, so therefore the negativity was right. Why are they hating? Oh, they hate me because I wear, I don't know, Jordan 11s, but I'm going to keep wearing Jordan 11s, and that's going to motivate me. Like it's from a negative place. I can't. Like in my early days, I think I was probably motivated by money. Like I need to get money. I need to get an education to be better. And then I realized, money's not everything, man. Money's cool, like it can help a lot.
So do you know sad rich people?
Do I know sad?
Yeah.
Explain
what sad rich people means. Please.
Sad rich people.
Sad rich.
Sad rich people.
Sad rich people.
No, sad. So
sad
people that have got the money, they can virtually do whatever they want, but they're still unhappy. Now, that I understand that sadness from having the money, because if you can do,
because I have the money, you know.
No, I've given you this example before about Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's arguably do the best sandwiches in England, arguably, that you can buy on the high street. But once you've had every sandwich in there, what's next?
What's your next? What's your next? Your next goal? Your next target? Your next
So then it goes on to a point where you go to little independent sandwich shops, and then you have their thing. What after that? So rich people, so you got to think Richard Branson, Bezos, Musk. Them man are flying into space now because there's nothing here for them.
Just about to say that.
There's nothing here for them. The motivation is let me get to Mars. Like we are not on a mindset. We don't have the mindset to think about I've got to go to Mars. Some of us can just about go to Brixton. You know what I mean?
So it's like the US versus Russia to put the first man in space.
Oh, the space race,
and then first man on the moon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that motivation there. Now, the reason why I answered the question about the money is because it came up a few times, and some people put career. However, I want to come back to family because family was one of the most responded points on the survey. But I always find it's interesting that many people think money is your motivator. And for someone I've never been rich, but I used to work in finance. I worked in banking. So I was around a lot of money, and I was around a lot of people that had a lot of money. And when you sit down and you speak to these people, their issues are your issues, just different. So you can't pay your gas bill, might be your issue. They can't charge their electric vehicle to drive across Europe for the summer because something's going on.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do you get what I mean? The helipad's busy. So now how am I gonna get across to do you know what I mean, Monte Carlo? Oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, as much as we're not in the same space, the level of unhappiness I'm feeling could be the same level of unhappiness they're feeling.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's no way I can say the scale is different because I can only judge it from my position and they're going to judge it from their position. So very soon I realized money doesn't motivate people, but what money brings to you can then cause motivations. So you get people that do things like, I'm going to be a philanthropist because I've now got so much money, I can do what I want with my money and bring happiness to others, and that makes me feel good. So the motivation has shifted. It's not about the amount of money I've got, I'm going to make more. It's the money that I've got, what can I do to bring joy to others, and what does that bring to myself?
Right.
Yeah.
So then you have clouds of, we're going to give Tongo a knighthood, we're going to call Rain Duke Rain, we're going to call him, do you know what I mean, Commodore Wiley.
Him, you know. Everybody got a name but him.
We're going to call him Commodore Wiley or whatever the case is. But then now, the motivation to get the title is, I want to be Sir Wiley.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. You want to go upper level.
I want to go upper level. So it's not necessarily about the money anymore. It's about what I do when I've got the money. And something what I thought was very interesting was a conversation about Elon Musk in the White House when he was next to Donald Trump and he had his kid. My man turned up in a trench coat,
Yes.
jeans, t-shirt, a cap on backwards, and had his 8-year-old, 9-year-old
Son, yeah.
Power
Son.
dynamics.
running around whilst the president is sitting down in the Oval Office
The apparent most powerful man
in the world.
Yeah.
giving an account to the camera, and you is saying,
Anything he wants.
don't talk to me like that. And doing anything. Now, when I saw it, I was shocked. But what was interesting was one of the, as I said, I like watching these reactor videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this person said, what position do you have to be in to feel to yourself, you're going to go into this place, wear these clothes, act like this because you can? What was his motivation? Do you get what it is? It's not for him to make any more money. Do you get what I mean?
Now his motivation is power.
It's a power struggle.
Because your money has given you financial
position.
power. What you now want is political power.
He's not motivated. Like, he's ascended. Donald Trump is a billionaire. Yeah, he has ascended Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't chat to him for cash. So he's sitting in there like, you're sitting in that chair, but I'm the most important. I'm the richest man in this room.
In the room.
So and I've got the most influence in this room. I made you president. That's what he's saying. So what is the motivator? I don't know. Like Elon Musk, just to say that he wants power, I'm not sure because he's got power. He owns Twitter, which is the only thing which is comparable is, I think, has anyone heard of Blue Sky?
No.
A lot of people are coming off of Twitter and going on to Blue Sky because it's owned by Elon Musk, but he doesn't care. He ultimately could, if he wanted to, he could probably make you the prime minister. That's the power that he's got. I don't know what motivates him. He flies into space when he wants to. He's creating rockets that go in. No, forget that. He is a contractor for NASA. So what motivates him? It's not even his kids.
However, coming back to it, good link, the motivation of family.
Right.
So lots of people spoke about family being your motivator. Tongo, talk us through how your family can motivate you in a positive way and that negative motivation, which is more of a deflation, right?
So positively, you want to do for your family, you want them to be proud of you, you want to be proud of them. So that motivates you to do better, be better, show better. However, also that motivation that's put on by them to do can also cause you pressure and stress, which could be deemed as negative. And when those moments are there, a lot of people like to hide those things. So the family won't be there to support you because they won't necessarily be there or realize that you're in that situation. So you're now on a downer, even though you're trying to do your best for the family.
Interestingly enough, one of the comments we had was from Bun Keep It Moving Joseph, who says, what motivates me is seeing my children happy and encouraging them, helping others to elevate, seeing them win, because in saying that I feel like I've won too, tying into the whole thing of family again. Very much. And I can understand when Tongo's talking about the pressures that come with it, but it's very much you're projecting effectively that happiness elsewhere.
But if you've got a pressure from something, is that a motivator? Is it a positive motivator?
No, but he asked me negative and positive.
Right, okay.
So that was the negative, and the positive was that you want to do better. Yeah, so he asked negative and positive and negative. So
to answer Rain's question, I think that the pressure can be a motivator because you don't want to fail. So because you don't want to fail and you're feeling that pressure, it's negative in terms of what you're feeling, but the motivation is, I don't want to feel this pressure anymore, so I'm going to ensure I get past it, to get past the pressure. That becomes the motivator in effect.
So I have a motivational story. This was inspired by a close friend of mine, and it's a different type of motivation, but it reminds me of a motivation I had.
Right, go on.
okay, go on.
So, gents, if I said to you, and people on the podcast, if you look through your phone book, you know I always say things like this, look at the 8th person that you've spoken to on your phone, and you call them up and said to them, next year, the 1st of February, 2026, could you give me £50,000? What would your answer be? I'm going to talk to my brothers in the room.
No.
Wiley says no?
No, I can't think of anybody who I'm going to say would give me
Wiley, I'm
50,000.
I'm giving you 12 months to get 50,000, which I need you to give to me February next year.
Next year. No.
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 Okay, Tongo.
I don't think so.
Yes or no?
No.
No. Rain.
The 8th person in my phone book, if I told them to give it to me next year,
February.
so shouts out to Helen, I think she would.
Man knows who the 8th person in his phone book is.
I just checked.
This guy.
I just checked.
Gee.
I think she'd be like, I don't know what you need it for, but I'll make it happen.
Right. Now, firstly, the nayers in the room. Why no?
There's people that I know would try to make it happen, but in order to, I'll be honest, I can't say I've got a circle of people that would be able to say, right, 50 grand here for you, because unfortunately we're all in our own rat race, which means if they need that 50 grand, they're gonna have their own needs and wants for it. I can't see them just saying, oh, here's 50 bags to give to you. I can't see it. Can't see it happening.
Without knowing who the 8th person is one reason why I said so. But
I even said to one of us in the room. I want it.
The 8th person is GVC.
GVC will probably find it.
But I'm asking you for it. This is me. I'm saying, Tongo, on the 1st of February next year, I need 50 grand. Can you give it to me?
I'll try my best to find it.
I can't give you 50, but you know what? I will do what I can to give you what I can.
Yeah, I'll do.
I need 50.
Can't give you 50. I can't guarantee you 50. I can't guarantee you 50.
That's
no.
okay. It's okay.
No.
It's not a pressurized thing. Do you know what I mean?
I would do my best to find it or get it for you, whether that means that I collect it from multiple sources, whether it is that I earn it myself, whether it's I would try my best to get it to you.
Right? I need 50 grand 1st of February next year. Can you sort it out for me?
I would say yeah.
You say yeah.
I'd say yeah.
Thank you.
My question
Guess
is,
who my new best friend is?
No, but here's my thing. My question is, what's my motivation for giving you 50 grand?
Aha, this is my question.
Yeah.
Rain probably got 50 grand in the bank already.
No,
Just hold it.
it's not even
joking,
that.
man.
What is my motivation for doing that to you?
So
For you, should I say?
I'm going to explain something, and then hopefully we can come back to it. A few years ago, what year is it now? 9 years ago,
2016.
10 years ago, I had a restaurant, and my restaurant got pulled from under my feet. Literally, it felt like I just got robbed in the middle of the night. I was already in debt, and then when the restaurant went wrong, everything just went out the window. I couldn't pay my mortgage. I couldn't even maintain my kids. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck. At the time, in my head, I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to revert back to my previous profession, like to go back into finance, go back into banking, and go from there, because I had a pretty good CV. I should be able to get myself a job, turn my hand into a different avenue of work and do whatever else. Like, there was all of these options, and I couldn't figure out anything. As I said, I weren't paying my mortgage. I then started my small little business, doing my removals and whatever else, and money started flowing in. You started clearing the red bills first. For those people that are in that situation, you know that feeling. Clear the red bills first, then clear the warning letters, then clear the normal bills, and then you can start eating, you're back on track. Do you get what I mean? People may not have lived this, I'm just sharing what I went through. However, when I made my next mortgage installment, I was about 3 to 4 months late making that payment. The bank sent me a couple of letters, but I didn't really hear nothing. So it was one of those, I'm just going to bury my head in the sand. We are where we are. It is like, this is the position I'm in. However, when I made the payment, they called me and they said, oh, we realize you've made the payment. Actually, your account's going to go to the litigation department. These are the people that deal with the legal aspect of removing your mortgage and taking your yard from you. Obviously, my throat's gone dry. I'm like, what do I do now? The guy on the phone was like, don't worry, I'm going to help you. Your mortgage installment is only £670 a month. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, can you do that? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it now. I'll do it. I'll make a couple extra payments. He was like, it doesn't work like that. Now, this is the amount you owe us. We've also taken in your service charge. So when you own a property that's in a block, you have to pay service charge. They pulled the service charge debt from my local authority, added that to my mortgage, and made it into
a ginormous
debt. So instead of paying £670 a month, they said to me, you have to pay £1,878 a month for the next 9 months. Now, considering I couldn't pay anything for the last 4 months, and I made my first mortgage installment thinking I'm now going to get back on track, I now needed to find basically
3 times the money.
3 times the amount. There's no motivation like a letter coming through your door saying, if you miss the next payment, we're going to take your yard. So when Tongo mentions about that negative motivation,
as the pressure
came from somewhere. I had to find the energy from somewhere. And lo and behold, I was making the payments. Up to now, if you ask me exactly what I did, what steps I took to make it happen, I don't know. I just remember I was up early. I probably was writing good morning to you lot in the group.
At 5 a.m.
5 and 6 a.m.
Yes.
But I was ready to go and earn whatever money I needed to earn today. Whatever I earned, I put everything in my drawer, took £5 out, and that was my emergency money because I made food, so I didn't have to buy nothing on road. Do you know what I mean? I walk in my Volvic bottle of water, and I'm gone again. And as crazy as it sounds, that type of negative motivation, or whichever way you want to call it, got me into a position where I was paying the money and then also paying up front. Like, do you know what I mean? Here's this month, and
I'll raise you next month.
There's half of next month. Do you know what I mean? Because I was in a position to do so, and I was fortunate enough to build myself out. Now that type of motivation came from wherever it came from, but I used it and it spurred me on. The question that I asked and the conversation I had with my friend was, imagine when I made the last payment, the next month, guess how much money I gave them? So the original mortgage was 670.
Yep.
I was paying them 1828, for example.
You still gave him the 1,000.
I still gave him the
1,800.
The 1,800.
I know, Dean. I know that's what he did.
Yeah, because in my head I was like,
even though I don't know what he did, he hasn't told me. I haven't experienced it. I just know him. That's what he would have paid.
Because I said to myself, I now need to eliminate this situation ever happening again.
Again. Yeah.
And yeah, you can put it in a saving account, you can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. But in my head, I was like, no, I'm going to pay you lot up front for a year. So I'll pay my installment plus another 2 months to make sure I was ahead. And then I'll just go back to making my payments as normal and whatever else. The bank tried to get me and say, oh, because you've made overpayments, we're going to charge you this and do that and do the other. But luckily, none of that happened. And, you know what I mean, it put me in that position. Now, my friend, the conversation I had with him is he now needs to find a lump sum of money, equivalent of 50 grand. And I said to him, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to find it. I said, how are you going to find it? He goes, I don't know. So I said, but are you going to find it? He goes, 100%. So I said, if I asked you to loan me 50 grand by a year's time, do you think you could do it? And he goes, well, now I've got the motivation to, I'm going to have to do it. So for me, it's looking at what motivates you and understanding the positives, but also understanding the negatives and using whatever is around you to pull that motivation out, even if it is that red letter on your door or I don't know, the look in your partner's eyes or your child's eye, or that great feeling that you get when you've achieved, or do you know what I mean, setting your positive affirmations and actually hitting your targets. Do you get what I mean? So it's finding that out for yourself. So gents, once again, if you had to find 50 grand by the 1st of February next year, could you do it?
It's the them man, innit?
No. You see, you've just changed the question. The question is, if I need to find 50 grand by the 1st of February next year, I will make sure I can do it. If I need to find 50 grand to give to you for the 1st of February next year, I can't guarantee that, because I've got to ensure that if I can do that for you, I should be able to do that for myself. That means effectively I've got to find 100 grand. Because if I can do it for you, do you know what I'm saying? So if I'm doing it for myself, it's a different motivator. The motivation could be, if you don't find it by the 1st of February next year, you're going to lose your house, your family, your whatever. That motivation, pressure, going back to what Tongo was saying, gives me the pressure and motivation to say, I am going to get it done. But you know, it's a different pressure to, Citrus needs help. Citrus needs me to give him 50 grand by the 1st of February next year. Do you know what? I'm going to try and do what I can. The pressure is not the same. The motivation is not the same, because it's not a motivation on me. The pressure is not on me. The pressure's on you. I'm just trying to help you. But the pressure on me means that I have to find the solutions. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about being a man's man and what it means when we were talking about going out. It's different sort of motivation, but going out and protecting the family. If there's a bear or something outside, going outside and confronting that.
Fight that one time.
Well, it's the thing. The motivation is you, as the person who has to find the solutions. You're going to find that solution, give or take whatever it is. You will find it, because it is your job to do that. Whereas as your friend, I'm going to try and help you find the solution, but the pressure is not on me to say I have to find the solution for you.
Because ultimately it's not your responsibility.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different sort of pressure. So in answer to your question, yes, if I've got to find 50 bags for you, I've got to find 100 bags, because I can't give you 50 and in turn say to my family, I don't have it because I've given it to you. That can't work in my household. I've got to be able to say, I've given you because my household has not suffered. That's just how it would have to be.
It's interesting, and I accept your position. I don't agree with it, but I definitely accept it. Tom?
I kind of agree with what he's saying, but at the same time, what you said about giving and your family doing without, or not providing for your family instead, it depends it also depends on what the 50 grand is for, because finding 50 grand for Dean might be an investment that might give me 100 grand by February the 2nd. So
very good point.
I would still need to do it, because I know it's going to benefit me and my family as a result of. So it's like when you have like a couple and they say support the vision, and I don't know, your partner starts a musical career, which is obviously at the beginning going to be slow, but eventually they become Beyonce. Do you know what I'm saying? So now you lot have suffered. You've had like, I don't know, beans on toast for 3 months in a row. Like, you know, but now she's Beyonce and you're Jay-Z and it's all good. Do you know what I'm saying? So, as I said in the beginning, I will try my best to, because I believe I can, and how I am as a person, as you know, I'm very helpful to my friends in it. So as a friend that I am and the person that I am, I'd want to help you as much as I can. So I'm the kind of person that I have before. I don't know if I'd still do it, but I'm the kind of person that where I'll get myself into debt to help you. Like, I've done it for friends before. Like, so, for example, when I say that, I mean, like, for example, I might borrow from John because you need it, but I don't then think, well, I don't tell John, well, I'm waiting for Dean to give it back to me before I can give it to you. I've still got to give it to John, whether Dean gives it back to me or not.
Got you.
And that's what I mean by I'll get myself into debt to help. So, as I said, I'll try my best to do everything to help you and to get that for you. And I'm confident that if I've set myself I need to get 50
The target.
bags for Dean, that I'll get it.
Right.
And as our friendship goes, I probably wouldn't even ask what it's for.
Great.
But that's so my thing is that if somebody asks me for that amount of money, I'm assuming I've got a friendship with the individual. It's not you're asking me for that money because you're in debt. You're asking me because there's an opportunity. Now you're saying I've got 12, because remember, like logically, realistically, if it was debt, no debt collectors waiting 12 months. So it has to be an opportunity. So if I can, and so I get what you're saying, Wiley, you're saying if I can't give it to my family, then I'm not going to give it to you. My thing is that if I am in need of that 50 grand, I can't give it to you. It's just, and I can't earn it. I've got to look after my family first. So my answer is that, look, if you came to me and it's within my power, yeah, 50 grand, it's a lot of money. But I know, to your point, Tongo, how do I know that you don't say, right, 50 grand, right, you're giving it to me on the 1st, on the 16th, here's 100 grand back. Thank you very much, man, for believing in me. I don't need to know nothing else. But that's friendship, innit? That's trusting the individual. And that's what I would be doing. Why I was able to say, where everybody was saying, oh, I'm not sure I can do it, I'll trust in the individual. Like, you're not going to take my money and do foolishness. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't be my friend and you wouldn't ask me.
They're going to go buy one pair of trainers. That's what he wants. They're going to outbid him at his own auction.
So, thank you, gents. Thank you so much. That's actually been quite powerful. So the next question on the survey is, can you recall a time when you've had to change a behavior and what motivated you to do so? So 32 responses. These are some of the female responses. To protect my heart.
Mad.
Being young with a family and trying to learn not to be selfish, being patient and being more communicative. My career growth, having a child, my personal growth, my first child being born, the birth of my son. At the moment, I knew my life was never going to be the same, and I had someone to live and fight for. I knew I had to change my ways. Now, these are the others, so I don't know if this is male or female, but it didn't categorize it properly. So it said one of the motivations was lack of reciprocation, which is very interesting. When I got married and after my foster child, I realized there were other people I had to put before myself. Another one was, unfortunately not, I haven't done it, but I will always be willing to do the same if I'm honest, as in to change my behavior. My career or studies. This one just said censored. This one says post-wedding and responsibility it came with. That was the motivation. I like that. For work, I had to change for progress, becoming a parent and learning to respect my child's father in such a loving way. I presume it's meant to say different, but it's okay. As I had to understand men go through the same issues as women, so that's why that person changed their ways. When you lack a relationship to work, whether together or not, learning to take accountability and reflecting is hard, but also experience for growth. The next one says, having a family helped me change a lot of bad habits. And the last one said, my relationship suffered, so I was motivated to change my behavior. So, gents, I'm asking for a specific time where you've had to change your behavior, and what was the motivation behind it?
I had to change my behavior of focusing on decisions that I would do. So I would do a lot of stuff and not necessarily think of the repercussions of it, because it was what I needed to do. It was my outcomes. And when you have a family, you don't have to focus on the family as opposed to focusing on yourself. So the motivation became now, it's not about me doing for me, it's about me doing for us. So that was where my behavior had to change. I suppose mindset, I suppose is the best way I could describe it, had to change. Rather than thinking of it as a solo pilot, I had to think about it like a pilot with passengers. That's where my mindset had to change. It was no longer. Yeah, I had to think of it no longer think of it as a solo pilot. I had to think of it as a pilot with passengers, where it's not just myself that I'm looking at to get to the destination. It's all of us have to get to the destination, and we may not all necessarily want to fly via the Grand Canyon. Some of us may want to fly via the Caribbean or fly via West Africa. But ultimately, you've got to incorporate everything into it to get to the end result, which means you can't just focus on your own decisions. So my motivator there was to ensure that everybody was happy as opposed to just myself.
Tongo.
When I've got into a serious relationship, my behaviour changed in regards to, if you know me, you know that I used to rave a lot, like 6 days a week,
Mad.
every week,
Right.
plus 2 jobs, mad.
Mad thing.
Yeah. But when I got into a serious relationship, I realised I can't go raving every Friday and every Saturday, because what am I doing with this relationship with this woman that is just going to be there, and then she's coming with me, it's looking mad.
What's in the club for you?
You understand? So it's looking mad. So I got to ease off, step on the brakes, not go out so often, not be out there as much, unless it's like I'm out because I'm flying for promoting my own events, which obviously eventually is going to benefit us, or something like that. Even though my love for raving is about the atmosphere, the social networking of it, the fact that I just like music enough to just dance by myself, whether no one else in the party is dancing or not, I'll be the man dancing, I don't care, which is something I got off my dad. But no matter what, my love for raving, I have to step on the brakes a little bit, because it looks like I have no regard for my partner or their feelings or their... So I had to change that behaviour, and to be honest, it was a hard lesson, because I didn't get it at first, if that makes sense. As far as I'm concerned, like, you know me from raving, I always go raving, that's what I do, what's the issue? But then you got to realise you still got to have quality time with the person as well. And if they're like, well, I've got free time, and during this free time, you're out raving, and I'm at home on my own, like, you don't even come back home, you don't even come back to my house, and then we spend the next day together. You're going to your house because you're gone raving, and I ain't seen you, and this might happen 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. That's crazy. So, but I see you on Tuesday though, it's alright, cool. You know what I mean? It's not. So I had to change that behaviour, which was hard to learn because I didn't get it.
It's a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Rain.
Firstly, shouts out to my bedroom, Alex Vass. So he said, how dare I send him something so serious to fill out? Shouts out to Alex, the madman. Yeah, mine isn't as deep as yours, man. You lot are lifestyle, all of that stuff. Mine was like I didn't sleep. So I used to sleep for about 4 hours, 5 hours any given day. I'd wake up and I say sleep. I'd go to sleep at maybe 11, wake up at 2, be awake, and then go back to sleep for a couple of hours and whatnot. And it was just affecting everything. It was affecting how sharp I was. It was affecting my mood and whatnot. And I took a bit of time just to kind of take myself away from everything and just do a bit of research. I need to sleep. I need to sleep for 8 hours. What's preventing me? And then went through this whole, went through not spiritual, because I'm not spiritual, but started researching in regards to, shouts out to M Skeng, but I started to research into chakras and all of that. And then started to look at the easier thing, which was, well, what's my diet like? What am I eating? What times am I eating? Is that affecting my brain? Can I eat certain things at this time? Can I drink orange juice at 9 o'clock and it doesn't affect me and doesn't keep me awake? And then I'm not going to bring it up again, but the whole thing about salt, magnesium and all that kind of stuff. So my motivation was I needed to sleep because I knew I'd just be a better person. Mm-hmm. So had to do the research. And you know what? I remember, so for the people that have been following the podcast for a long time, so we have a WhatsApp group called, it's called Man Talk, but it's called MT, hence MT Podcast. And I remember there was a lot of people in there that were quite healthy, apparently. And I'm saying, right, what is actually healthy? What is it that you do? Like, what are you doing? Like, when you go to the gym, what's the workout? What are you focusing on? And no one could tell me anything. Everyone's telling me roundabout stuff, but no one's telling me anything specific. So I had to do it all myself. I had to do the research. Almost 2 years, you know, rude boy. 2 years of researching, right, what's good cardio? What's not good cardio? What builds muscle? What builds your heart? You know what I mean? Does your heart help you to sleep? Of course it does. You know what I mean? When you go to sleep, do you sweat in the nighttime? All of those kind of things I researched. And at the end of it, realized, right, I need to do X, Y, and Z. So the motivator was sleep. I needed to sleep because I knew I'd be a better person. I'd be able to think clearer. I'd be sharper. I'd be able to be stronger, faster.
So it took you 2 years to get to that 8 hours sleep?
It took me 2 years, rude boy.
That's crazy.
Ultimately, where I've ended up is I'm at the vitamin stage. So the magnesium, which I keep preaching to you, changing the salt, cooking with ghee rather than oil or whatever it may be, using olive oil that is only in a glass bottle. If you're buying olive oil and it's in a plastic bottle, it's shit. You know what I mean? All of that. It's taken 2 years, maybe even longer, but I've had to go on that by myself. And I'm not spiritual.
So is that where the D3 came in as well, with regards to sleep?
Yeah. That was the end part of it. So
I saw something coincidentally about today about if you're taking D3 and you're not taking magnesium as well,
it doesn't go into the bloodstream.
It doesn't go in as good. Apparently, it's not as good. So it's not supposed to do that.
You're right. You should take magnesium with it. But if you're taking a very high dose, if you're taking a 4,000 dose of D3, you'll get 2,000 into your bloodstream. That's enough. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
But magnesium helps it get in there. Well, magnesium citrate helps it get into the bloodstream a little bit better. Helps you to sleep more.
Okay.
But then you just buy a 3-in-1 magnesium. But anyway, we digress. So
Educational moments with MT Podcast.
One comment that came on the chat was one Keep It Moving Joseph. She said, I've been motivated to change when I realised that certain behaviours I was displaying was coming from historic childhood trauma, and I didn't like how that was affecting those closest to me.
I really like that.
Like that one there. Like that one there.
Like that. Similar to Rain, I think Tongo and Wiley's examples were brilliant. A bit deep. Mine was TV. I found a lot of my day was being consumed by television. Oh, right. Now, don't get me wrong. This was
really. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, this was a long while ago.
Right. Okay.
And when I say a long while ago, I'm talking potentially like 20 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Where it was things like you'd watch, like I'd come home from work, you know, I was working a corporate job, so I'd get home 5:30, 6 o'clock. You know, I'm jumping a bath or the shower. I always used to like to watch the news because I wanted to find out what was going on in the world.
But I was going to say Emmerdale.
No, but it plays part and parcel. Okay. Because you come home, have a bath shower, play with my daughter for a while, and then she had to go to bed. Do you know what I mean? However, I knew after she was bathed and creamed and whatever else, oiled down, hot bottle, couple pats on the bum, she's gone.
Again. Yeah.
Right? At that point, it was literally like
What am I doing?
the last pat on her bum was dinner's ready. Woof. I'd get up, sit down. I'd sit on a chair with a tray.
Really?
Yeah, I'd have my meal.
Yeah, a table.
And
Brother,
this
tray was about as big as the table.
I'd have my tray, and the TV would be on. And my partner at the time, she watched Emmerdale, which was on 7. Now, at 7 o'clock. Now, all of a sudden, I'm invested in the sheep, bruv. I don't know what's going on. Emmerdale's important to me right now.
Invested in the sheep.
The Tate household and all of that. Important stuff. But that finished at 7:30. By the time Emmerdale finished, I picked up my tray, went into the kitchen, emptied that out. I don't know. I don't remember washing it. I've got to be honest. I might have just put it down and sat back down 7:30 because EastEnders started. Another half hour.
Oh, right. Okay. I see what you mean.
Boof. Then it's now 8 o'clock. Coronation Street's on.
Yeah.
Slap that up as well. It's 8:30.
The bill.
The bill comes on. Do you know what I mean? That's now 9 o'clock. Expector Morse is now on.
Yeah.
That's an hour-long special.
I'm gonna watch the Neighbours that I missed at 5:30.
I have to catch this whole thing. So now it's 10. Me and my partner at the time, we ain't spoken really because we're both fixated on
What's happening on the
whatever
TV?
was going on the TV. I've done nothing. There's nothing's happened with my world. But I know
bag of things to do as well.
I know what's going on in all of these. And then for a while, I was like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like I really didn't understand why I was so invested in it. And then one day, that was it. I just said, I'm not watching any of this stuff anymore. So I don't watch those soaps.
None.
I don't watch any of that stuff.
Bun them.
It like in my head, I was just like, well, what was going on? And then I realized, and not saying that I've religiously done this, but then I realized it's time to pick up and read a book. There's time to take up a hobby. There's time to do other nonsenses and whatever else. And all of a sudden, life just expanded.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? The things that I wanted to do were just much. Do you know what I mean? Much. There was more space and capacity to do it. Do you get what I mean?
But you know the TV is it was patented by the US, and it was patented as a not a hypnotism device, but something which is to keep you in one place to stop you from interacting with. It was actually painted
With the neighbours, in it, to stop.
I can't even remember what it was.
I remember I saw something about to stop people curtain twitching.
Something. It was just something that was put in place to stop you from interacting with the outside world.
Mad.
And a lot of people fall, but no, you say mad, but a lot of people fall victim to it. Like, you've escaped it, but then there's a lot of people. Like, what do you think Big Brother's for? What do you think Love Island's for? It's to keep you in your house. It's to make you feel like you are secure within your own environment. That's happening to you. It's not happening to me because I'm sat here with my jerk chicken and blah blah blah. I'm all right. So it takes you away. It's an escapism. But it's mad. TV, I get that, man. I get that.
So when we talk about things to change behaviours, how do you motivate someone to change their behaviour?
You got to give them an outcome. Ultimately, I find in one of the roles that I do, I have to convince people that the outcome of what you're going to be doing, if you're continuing to do something one way, the outcome you're going to get is going to go this direction. If you want it to go in a positive direction, you have to change the process of what you're doing. So you have to, from what, in that regard, and there's various different answers, but in that regard, you got to give them an outcome that's going to say it is something that is worth changing their self for.
So giving them a target, basically.
Yeah. But what target? Yeah, effectively. But give them something that says when you're changing what you're doing. Like for example, if we said somebody wasn't going gym, and then let's say somebody's going gym and they're muscular, they're very fit, whatever. The motivation will be, well, if you do want to change things, if you want to do that, the outcome is you're going to look like in shape like I do. So therefore, you need to do what you need to do to become like this.
No,
that will be the motivation. That will be the motivation. That will be the motivation.
If you've got a tubby personal trainer, Like I'll be like, yeah,
You're not gonna be.
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I'll give you an example. Yeah, my he's probably dead now. My swimming teacher, Mr. Ball, used to teach at what was it? Tottenham before it became
Something's
Tottenham Sports
disturbing
Centre.
that he started that he's probably dead.
Listen. Anyway, he couldn't swim.
Mr. Ball couldn't swim.
Mr. Ball couldn't swim. He was a swimming teacher.
Was his first name Cannon?
We left from Stamford Hill Primary School to go to Tottenham Municipal, whatever it was called, to go and swim. He couldn't swim, but he was teaching us to swim. You don't need to be an expert, or you don't need to know how to do something to be able to teach somebody.
It's very true. I agree with that.
To a degree, I'd agree with that to a degree. But I think if you're,
I don't know if I'm looking at the posters.
if I'm gonna
If I walked up to the gym and it had a profile of all of you lot there, and it's got Tongo there, like, yeah, just running it. Do you know what I mean? As his team, I'll be like, running it. That's the headline, isn't it? Just running it. All of a sudden, I'm just like, you might not be the guy, bruv. Do you know what I mean? But then you got this other Tongo on the other side who's got a protein shake in one hand, a dumbbell on the other hand. Do you know what I mean?
It's a fallacy.
That's just
though,
fake.
isn't it?
That's just fakery for the vision.
Fallacy, yeah.
Well, it works.
It's fakery.
It works.
So one comment.
say-
So go on. So
But it's like, look at like a lot of hairdressers. Like women go to hairdressers. A lot of the hairdressers, there's a state.
Blood. A mutation of that. A dread cutting hair, blood. Don't piss me off.
Wiley.
one comment that has come through, Simon Mitchell, he says, living longer motivated me to change after a medical incident in 2019. Needed to get to who I was, which also counselling. I wasn't the person I should have been or was.
All right,
So getting back to the person that he recognised himself to be.
Well, congratulations, Simon.
Simon Mitchell. Simon Mitchell.
Okay.
Congratulations, Simon. Glad you're with us.
Indeed.
I do
Very
like
glad.
that. Thank you, Simon.
Very glad.
All right, we're going to keep going. The next question is...
Time is ticking, so yeah.
do you find yourself motivating others? If so, in what way? So I'm going to read some of the answers out. By being myself and doing whatever I want. I do, especially at work, letting people know where I have made mistakes so they don't have to make the same ones. Someone else just said no. The next person said, I try to, from life experiences like financial in small parts. I naturally fall into leadership roles, even though I don't like it. It generally helps within the work environment. Within the work environment, I always selfishly put others within my team to go harder. I used to think that it was to show my value. It's not. I just like to win. And I like to get good results in whatever I do. Someone else just said yes. Someone else said giving others encouragement. The other one said, I do. Many people that know me know I used to be one of the, I think it's hardest. But it's RDS.
Maybe they were typing it and thinking, why?
Bro, maybe they were talking through it. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. Right, but...
No, what does it say?
Don't worry.
I want to work it out.
It's fine. So, it says, stop putting efforts into others that don't put effort into themselves. One said to protect themselves. So, the point I'm going with this is, before I answer, what's your answer, gents? Do you want me to read the question again? Or
Yes.
Yes, please.
Give me 1 sec. Do you find yourself motivating others? If so, in what way?
I don't motivate anybody on purpose. People might say I'm motivational, but it comes from a place of just don't take shit from people, or you've got to get out and do something, or you've got to go out and do it. I don't know. I remember one time at Caliber Mines, and we were doing this round the table thing. I think it was, what do you bring to the table? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't get the question. But I'm not a general, but I'm the best lieutenant that you'll ever have. I don't know if you remember
you said that, yeah.
And in my mind, that's come from Transformers. So you've got Megatron, who's the leader, and you've got Starscream, who is stronger and more intelligent than Megatron. He could take him out at any time. And that's always my mindset. And some people take motivation from that kind of mindset. I don't need to be the best. I don't need to be flashy and be right. I'm the person that's here. I know I could get there if I wanted to, but I don't need to. Maybe my motivation is knowing that the person at the top, I could take you out any time. I'm not saying I could take you out any time and use that caliber mind.
That sounds so scary.
But you
You know,
know,
like
You can
now,
take it out anytime. I'm not saying I can.
Sniper rain, boy.
you know, can, but remember that
Sniper rain.
but it's like I listen to a lot of people's responses, and I still think they come from quite dark places. No one is actually on the, not no one. There's many people that are not coming from a positive place where they are achieving or have achieved. Everything is like, oh, I need to do better in my career. Like it gets to a point in your career that why are you trying to get better? Like Nas had a song called Suicide Bounce, yeah? And the lyrics was, I'm sitting up drunk, I'm shuffling thoughts, I've got paper but I'm lost. I've got paper but I'm lost. I'm losing focus, my seed is settled, my family's straight. Why am I still hustling? And I'm like, it gets to a point, like we should get to a point at a certain age, like what are we striving for? Like it gets to a point where, right, are you trying to be rich? If you're trying to be rich, what is the probability of you at this age being rich unless you take a massive risk? Like you can't, I'm not trying to downplay any of our friends or anything like that, but you can't sell mortgages and get rich. You can't put on numerous raves and get rich. You can get well off and you can be able to buy a nice car or whatever, but it's not rich. You have to then look to, right, what am I working for? Am I working for my family? Are my family settled? Am I able to buy the house? Am I able to buy a car where they can, I don't know, whatever it may be? Am I able to pay for their university in 25 years? You know what I mean? I think like that. That would be a motivation. I'm not trying to do stuff for myself no more, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense, but I think, like, to go back to the point you were saying, for some people, the love of the game, as in the love of the hustle, whatever, is their motivation, and it's like a drug. So they it's not about I want to get rich. Like, okay, Elon Musk, for example, is so rich now and so powerful. We were just saying it earlier. It's not about power anymore. The motivation is not power. The motivation is not more money because he has more money than he needs to have. So what is the motivation? The motivation is the feeling he gets, or the drug he gets from it, to say, you know what, this is my fuel. That is the motivation
Passion,
he's now
maybe.
going with. I wouldn't even say passion. It's just that he's got a high he gets from it.
His motivation, I've worked it out, is doing the impossible. That's what it is. I am going to put a car into space, playing David Bowie's Space Odyssey because you lot can't do it. That's my motivation. I am going to bring my son into the Oval Office because I can. Nobody in the history of presidencies has ever done that. That's it. His motivation isn't like a normal person's motivation. It's different. So I get the notion of Elon Musk, but I think he's he's different. He's just doing stuff that is the impossible. We are still trying to do the possible, and maybe that's the confines of our mind, innit? We're thinking, right? Oh, I need to make money. Oh, I need to be successful. He's like, I'm trying to land on Mars. You know what he said? I want to terraform Mars into the Earth. What I'm going to do, I'm going to heat up Mars. That's the impossible. That's what he wants to do. We're still thinking about, oh, I need to buy 2 properties. It's a different mindset. His motivation is a different mindset. Once you get that different mindset, and when you work out, the trivial is minor, but I'm going to try and do the impossible. Maybe that's a motivation. Maybe I need to change my mindset to be, I'm going to start doing the impossible.
Tongo.
Remind me of the question.
Oh.
Black Star says Elon is doing side missions now.
He's on a madness.
Who
said that?
Black Star.
Oh, shouts out
Do you
to
find
Black Star.
yourself motivating others? If so, in what way?
Definitely. By things that I do and what how I am, but also I naturally like my people to win. Like I want to see them win. So I'm doing that by, I will help them, I will aid them I'll give them advice, I will do research on their behalf, I will, I don't know, if I know that you're interested in, I don't know, music production, for example, and a music production course came back my way, I'll dash the link to you because I know that's something that you're interested in, and it might give you inspiration to start. Or I try to use my experience and share it with other people, but also information and my resource, because I feel like in eMpTy alone there's a lot of resource. So it is all right, boom, you want to do DJing, there are 6 DJs in my group, I'll have a quick word with them, find out what you need to start. Or do you know what I mean? It's like I will support you and also push you where necessary, because I think you need that, because sometimes you could be on your journey and you might get deflated, you might get a hurdle that you need a little quick nudge over, innit? Like a little shoulder. So I'll try and be that shoulder, really.
Okay, I like that. My one. So late last year, as you guys all know, I started Monday morning chat in MT, the group, where I literally, for those who use WhatsApp and are in a group, if you look in the top right hand corner, there's a telephone. I pressed the telephone one morning at 9 o'clock and it called all 20 odd members of the group. So some people answered, some people didn't answer, and we just started speaking. How was your week last week? What have you got planned for this week? You know, what areas do you need any help in? What's your aspirations? And the first phone call, there might have been 4 or 5 of us. The next phone call was 10 of us. However, the phone call, the conversation from the phone call on that Monday morning transpired into the group and was followed up into the group. I started challenging some of the members of MT to call another member directly. Because as much as, and I don't know if you all experience this, but as much as you may be in a WhatsApp group with someone, you may not know what's going on in their life. So you speak to them every day on this social media platform, but you don't hear their voice. And the task of asking them to call someone else who's also in that same group, who they may converse via WhatsApp every day, but haven't heard their actual voice or seen their face for the last 2-3 months, make the phone call. And in making the phone call, we realized that the power in that type of communication and connection was very, very, very strong. And what I was very proud of is after, 6 weeks, a month to 6 weeks of doing this, some of the gents in the group would call me up directly saying, do you know what? We're really glad that you're doing the Monday morning phone calls. And sometimes it's just me and one other person, but we'd still be on there for the half an hour or the 20 minutes or whatever it is and then say cool. But there's also been times where we've been on there for 3 hours and we're having that phone call.
That's not even a joke.
And then, Rain's coming in like, yo, you man, give me a minute, yeah? And then you won't hear nothing back from him. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
SK special
Life does life. But what I do like about it and what I think has been very, very effective is some of the issues that some of us have faced. We realise many of us are facing exactly the same issues. But because it's not necessarily something you write in a WhatsApp group, it was something that was never discussed. But one person just saying it live in a phone call made the rest of us be like, you know what, actually, this is something I'm going through. Let me do this or let me try that. So there was a lot of motivation from me anyway to continue to do these phone calls because I realised how much it helps my brothers. And even getting the call back saying, like I'll give an example, a couple of weeks back, I didn't make the call. And it was about 9:20 and one of the guys called me up and was like, yo, I'm waiting for you to make the phone call. And I was like, bro, we all have the same blasted call function on our phone. Just press the button. I just weren't available that day. But it shows me the value in that.
That Monday morning meeting is proper.
And that's something that I hold precious. Do you know what I mean? And if you can take it and start it in your own WhatsApp groups or whichever platform you have, I think it's so important. Not necessarily because we communicate, but the way we communicate. I think it's important.
One comment that's come through is a motivation. This comes from Sheldon Shaw. He says, being a part of my kid's life motivates me because I grew up without a dad until I was an adult. Men never get the credit they deserve, so I want my children to have good things to say about their dad. I love my dad to bits though, because those days he didn't have a full-time job and there were 8 of us.
Yet, backside. 5-a-side plus subs, you know. Hey!
Okay. So I'm going to fly through to the next one. 1 second.
One of the questions that came up that we had on the Instagram is money the biggest motivator?
No.
Good question.
I don't think so.
I always say money is the backup dancer to the motivation.
I agree.
So I'll give an example.
Go on.
If I said to you, here's £1 million, would you take it?
I'll be out the door straight away.
And what would you do with it?
I'd do a lot with it.
Give me the first thing you'd do.
First thing I would do, I would give money to family and send money back home, and then I would look after some of the things I need to do over here.
That's done.
And
Money's
invest.
done.
No. But I'm not giving anyone a large sum of money. I'm giving in some money.
When you say not a large money, what's some money?
I might give maybe.
Do you know what? The value is irrelevant.
I just wanted to know.
Because the point is it's enough. I would give people enough that I am now not going to be having anything less than $750,000 in my own account.
And what would you do with that $750,000?
I would let the money gain interest as it needs to. I'd try and live off the interest. I wouldn't be going out
Would
there and
that be
spending.
enough? No.
Maybe not.
So I was thinking.
But that's what I'm saying. I would try and do that because I probably would. I'm knowing myself. I'm still likely to be working or doing something that is working, bringing an income. I don't really want to be touching that 750 if I don't have to, because that is money that I want to be able to go beyond me. But to go to children, grandchildren, whichever, so that there's money available for others after me. Rather than just saying, right, I'm going to go and live my best life and do everything and explode the money.
If you knew they were financially well off, you wouldn't need £1 million.
If I knew they were financially well off, I wouldn't need. What do you mean?
They wouldn't need £1 million.
If I knew they wouldn't need £1 million, then I'm doing it for myself. Then I'm going to enjoy the money as I need to.
What would you do with the money?
I would spend it.
On what?
I would spend it on clothes, DJing equipment. I'd buy probably whatever cars I wanted. Exactly. Listen, I would have a season ticket in a box, and I'd be there every single weekend. So all my happiness.
If we put you through the filter,
yep,
it takes a while.
Yep,
because there's some big clumps of Wiley and the fine pebbles of Wiley and the sand grains of Wiley. But as soon as we get through the filter, we realise right now I can motivate you with clothes, a season ticket, and some new DJ equipment.
There you go.
So really, the question should be, what seat would you want to sit in? What part of Anfield do you want to sit in? So if I can get you to visualise the seat in Anfield, it's different to say to you, here is the £10,000 it will cost for that seat ticket, for that season ticket.
Got you.
Do you get what I mean? This is why money isn't the motivation.
It's what you do with the money.
Gets you is the motivation, which is why it's the backup dancer to
what
the
it
actual
gets you.
motivator. Do you get what I mean?
I get you, but can you get that? See, it's the chicken and the egg.
100%.
Can you get that without the money?
The answer is yes. Because before money was invented, we bartered. And we still barter now. It's just people have lost the skill on how to barter.
Not me, man. That's why I got.
Do you not? But here's the thing. Do we not barter with things that have monetary value or that is equated to money? That will get us money.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
No, because the worth of something is the value that it is to the person,
to the receiver,
to the recipient or the giver. Because
not necessarily.
Right, the reason I'm saying that is that if I haven't eaten for
3 days,
3 days or whatever, and I've got a laptop, that's good that I've got a laptop, but I still haven't eaten. If you've got one cracker and you say to me, give me a laptop and I'll give you this cracker, take the laptop. The cracker is worth way more to me than the laptop.
Right, exactly.
So it's about what the thing is value to the people. It's not about how much it costs.
So And this is why when people turn around and talk to me about money, I can always get out of that conversation when it comes down to money, because for me, money isn't the motivator. It's what you do with the money is the motivation. So when people say, I want a big house, well, let me help you build a house. Because, we can go and find the money to buy a big house, or we can try and pull together what we've got, buy the land, learn how to build a big house, and we'll build a big house exactly how we want it.
So here's the thing, though. So
I'm not saying money doesn't play a part.
No,
I'm just saying it's the backup dancer to the main.
For me, I'm a person where the money would be my. You see what you just now said about, okay, let's build a house. I don't have time for that. I'm not looking to build a house. I'm not looking to build a hard drive. I'm not looking to build Latin.
The lazy route.
I'm looking to. Yeah, I am lazy. I'm a person. Listen, my partner knows me for this. DIY. I can do DIY at home. You know, I just hate doing DIY because it is a thing of it is time that I think is dead. So I will pay someone to do the DIY because I don't want to do it, and I earn enough that I can say, here's the money to make you do the job that I don't want to do. So the money gives me the solution in that regard.
But money's still the backup dancer. You know why? Because you mentioned a commodity that's worth more than money to you, which is time. Do you get what I'm saying? So as I said, I'm more than happy to have the money conversation all day long because you open up.
We're gonna have a podcast about money. Definitely,
no, it's fine, but you open up and people just don't understand it. And this is why. When America can turn around and say, what do you mean run out of money? We're just going to print more. And because people think, well, now I've got the notes in my hand, I'm okay. Realizing the value of the notes ain't because the money isn't worth anything is irrelevant. It's I've got cash, so I'm okay. But no. It's like one of the, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled. But what I say to people is there's a story that was told to me, and please correct me if I'm getting it wrong, but Wiley won the lottery.
Who?
Wiley. Mm-hmm. He won the lottery. 5 million pounds. Converted it into naira. So now we're good.
Good.
We're good. Wiley doesn't need to work anymore. But Wiley doesn't want to build his own house, but he wants a big house. So he's going to design his house, give it to Rain. Rain's going to go and get the contractor. Rain builds the house.
And Rain's going to overcharge him because he knows he's got 5 million.
Doesn't matter. Wiley just wants the house. So once the house is done, Wiley don't care. And all listings are done. And then Wiley, your house is ready. And it's on the beach. On what's the road called, Wiley? Where they've got the beach in Nigeria.
You're talking about in Lekki. You're talking about it's not the road. You're talking about in Lekki. Lekki's an area where there's a lot of money that's been spent. Victoria Island, Lekki. Yes, those places have got a lot.
So Wiley wants to go there, but do you know what happens when Wiley gets there? He meets Uncle Wiley, who's been living in Lekki all his life. And then Wiley comes over, sits next to Uncle Wiley, and says to Uncle Wiley, "I've made it." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I've been living here my whole life. So you've worked hard, won the lottery to come and sit right next to me, yes sir, where I am.
Who's enjoying the same thing.
Who have been enjoying the same thing.
I've been here.
Anyway. Do you get what I mean? When they say them people that buy islands and they go and meet people on the island, and the people on the island are like, so you became a multi-millionaire just to come and fish with me here on this rock, thinking that you've now found
peace and tranquility
and solitude. No. It doesn't make sense. Do you get what I mean? But as I said, there's this. I mean, I can go into so much detail, but it gets a bit boring. But what I would like to share is money isn't a motivator. However, a lack of money definitely
is a motivator.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Rain's not sure.
Totally agree.
I agree.
No,
I said it in the first place. I agree to the backup dancer statement in the first place.
Okay.
I get it. Money. Would you say money is the backup dancer? Yeah. I kind of get that.
Like when you get money, you will then do what you are motivated to do.
So here's the thing. So I go back to my original point, and I'm going to do it quite quickly. Come weary of time. Going back to my original point, I said my biggest motivator is happiness. Can money buy happiness to make you? Yes. So will you be motivated to get money to buy your happiness?
Money buys happiness. Anyone that says no has not had a significant amount of money. I don't care what anyone says. It can also give you sadness, but if you are rich, and I was listening to an interview with 50 Cent, and he was talking, I don't know, he was interviewing, and then someone asked him the same question, and he said, "Oh, can money buy you?" No, this person said, "Money can't buy you happiness," and he sat there for about 30 seconds and he was thinking about it.
He was 50.
50, and he said, "Money buys you happiness. Of course it can." The person that said that it doesn't hasn't earned
enough money.
Exactly that.
I saw it.
And I got it. I'm not saying it makes you overwhelmingly happy, but you are able to do so. Like, you can't buy love, so you take that from the equation. But you can buy a substitute for love. You can buy adrenaline thrills, so you can buy a fast car. You can have the best Wagyu steak in the world when you've got a lot of money. But then have you got someone to share that with?
Yeah.
No is the answer. You know what I mean? Money can buy you happiness, but can it buy you fulfillment? No.
I don't agree it can buy you happiness. I think it presents opportunities for happiness to appear, but the same speed it appears is the same speed it can disappear.
I think it sounds like it's a false positive, innit?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. When you ain't got money, there seems to be more sad times than happy times. Let's be real. But does it buy you happiness? I struggle to understand the answer being yes, because I just think, the more money, more problems.
Yeah.
That kind of understanding.
No, but it's more money, more. See, even the song there, more money, more problems. It's if you elevate that. Right. If I gave you £50 million now, you're happy. Because
I'll be grateful.
No, you're happy. The reason
No, I'll be very happy and very grateful. However, it's what I do with the money.
But
after
you're overcomplicating it, because what you're trying to do, you're then trying to put yourself into a sphere where I've got this money, I need to do something with it. Forget that. You've got kids and a partner. Enjoy life with them. You're happy. You don't need nothing else. Why are you trying to then? I've got 50 million. Why are you trying to buy a business? Why are you trying to do investments? Why are you trying to sort out Tongo? Why?
Tongo's broke over.
Yeah, I get it.
don't leave Tongo.
I understand.
Tongo's got what, 50 million, bro. Look after that.
It's the classic thing of, right, if you won the lottery, what would you do? I'd invest it. Why the hell would you invest it? If you won the Euro Millions and you got 100 million, what the fuck are you investing for? You've got 100 million. You can't spend that in a lifetime. Why are you trying to attain more money?
I can't be a hypocrite, because if you said here's 50 and I'd be like, I'm good, this is not happening. But what I would say is, coming to the first point, that what motivates me is the joy that brings to others. So if I knew, for example, from that 50 million, Bruce's Millions, anyone seen it? He has to give the money away. If I knew giving money away made you guys happy, and I could still live my life at a standard that I was happy, I don't need anymore. I don't need to invest anymore. I don't need to do any of that. So I fully agree with it. Philanthropy, you know, I started a charity to help people out that are less fortunate positions than myself and the majority of us in the room. So yeah, there is definitely the case of your point. I'm not gonna deny it. But if I know I can, with that same 50 million, for example, I can set a business up that everyone that came through the MT Academy could walk into a job, because our factories are there and our production lines are there and our engineers are there and our professors are there and whatever else, then all of a sudden, not only am I okay, my children and that generation are okay, and then the generation below are all okay. Do you get what I mean? Where I see it, not the most, but where I see it beautifully, even though it's a bit of a false statement, is in Saudi Arabia. So the royal family say, if you have Saudi blood, every year, hold 50 racks or 20 racks, whatever the amount is. Just hold, that's your money. No one can move there and get this money because it's yours.
Same thing with Dubai. If you're born in Dubai,
It's the same family.
It's
the whole Saudi family.
Basically, if you are there, born by a person who is there, you're rich. You're rich.
You're good.
Yeah,
Now
boss.
that is a way of saying, do you know what? We discovered oil, and we put things in place, then to make sure no one else in our region for the next 300 years should have any issues unless our oil dries up or there's a war or mass genocide. Do you get what I mean?
So just to jump
But
onto
timing wise, we need to tie up.
to jump onto one of the chat comments. Bun Keep It Moving Joseph says money is one of the main vehicles to happiness. So it's not happiness, but it's one of the main vehicles to getting happy. I think that pretty much sums it up.
That's the same as saying it's a backup dancer, though. To be
Yeah,
Well, but is it though?
because it's not really a backup dancer because it's right in the front. If it's one of the main vehicles, it's the main thing. The backup dancer might be at the back and you can't really see them. But if it's someone who's if it's the what's the name of this guy with Busta Rhymes?
Miss it.
No, Spliff Star.
Star, yeah.
Spliff Star is always bang front and centre. He's not one of the people dancing at the back.
he's still a backup dancer, though.
But he's one of the people front and centre. You see him all the time. He's right in the front. He's not in the back. He's not in the.
You're focusing
not
too
in the
much
back.
on the word of backup rather than what the purpose of.
What the purpose is.
My point is to say there are many things that can make you happy, but money is one of the main vehicles, being the main thing. With that has more of an influence on you being happy than most other things can do.
I tell you, the reason why I challenge it is when you travel and you meet people who don't have 5% of your wealth,
Yep.
and you see them being truly happy. You see fishermen, do you know what I mean? Truly happy. You see, like, I remember I was in St. Lucia, I'm walking in the flipping middle of the little rainforest thing. You see some dude just sitting in a tree. Oh, remember that guy? So blessed.
Chilling. Just one leg like this.
Oh,
And in my head,
gosh.
I was just like,
Chilling.
I wonder what in life has got you to this place that you are happy, you're calm, you're tranquil. Do you know what I mean? You're together with yourself and the earth, and you're just happy in this space.
Isn't it ignorance?
Not necessarily. What's there to be ignorant about?
Because he has no idea what it is like to earn a salary of £50,000 a year and be able to go into a restaurant like Hakkasan, for example, and have a meal.
Or I'm just going to live off the land because that's what my forefathers have done. That's what I'm doing,
See,
and that's what I'm going to teach my children how
so
to do.
it's ignorance. It's 100%.
So therefore, it's not a lifestyle I desire.
Well, no, you can't say it's not. It doesn't.
It's not a lifestyle you know.
Exactly.
If you know it,
It's not a bad
If
thing.
you know
I was
it,
about to
would you choose that over what you know? Possibly not. Likely, you wouldn't choose it.
So maybe this is where we end it. So the question is, you can have £50 million, no, £2 million, or you could be self-sufficient in a Caribbean island. Self-sufficiency means you grow your own food, you can all the meat that's there, you raise it.
2 million.
You don't have to pay no bills.
Yeah, I'm already cutting you short because that's giving me work to do. 2 million.
I'm
2 million. It's giving me work to do.
All that stuff to do long.
Remember, my thing is about living an easy life. I'm not looking to do no work, whether it's self-sufficient or not. I can go on holiday and experience all of that without being self-sufficient.
So there you go. Now this is the issue. The 2 million is finite. The self-sufficiency is infinite.
I will be happy as long as I have the 2 million, and then I'll still be happy because I can live afterwards. It's not to say that I won't have any money.
You can. You buy a house for 1 million, then you buy a car for 100,000, and then you have to live with your family.
Yeah.
How long is that 750,000 or whatever going to
It's
last?
not as a figure. It's not going to last. But here's the thing, though: you live within your means. So you see the same way you're
that's not enough for me
saying,
to die, so it's all right.
buy £1 million house. I wouldn't be saying let me go and use half of that money to go and buy a house. I'll just buy a normal house I can live in to be happy with and keep it moving like that. But you know, if we go, it's a rabbit hole.
Right.
Rabbit hole.
Agree. So what I'd like, gents, I'd like to say thank you to all those on the live. If we can come, we didn't even finish the survey, so I might have to revisit. But What I'd like to do is to come up with your motivational summary.
Bumble Rockstone.
A motivational summary, and then we can terminate the podcast.
My motivation is very simple. I don't like to do any work, any DIY or anything. I will just pay someone to do the job. So on that note alone, I will work to get the money to pay them so I can have an easy life. Simple.
What was motivation about that?
That's my motivation. Money. Motivation for them.
Tongo,
Sorry. Want us to advise on motivation for other people?
whatever
or-
you've taken from the podcast.
Boy, what I would say is everyone has a different motivations. Some it's money, some it's happiness, some it's peace, some of it is pom pom. Like whatever your motivation is, do whatever work or action or reaction that you need to do to get it. That's it.
Right.
I haven't much to say, man. Like, you know, it's just simple, isn't it? Learn from losing, cherish winning. That's the motivator.
Boom. I like that.
Okay.
And what's yours, Mr. Citrus?
Before I would like to say thank you to the 33, because people are
Still coming in now.
Still coming in fresh.
Do you know why? Because they know there's going to be a part 2. So they find out so they can get the answers in the part
33
2.
people that responded to the questionnaire. Yes, we still have 2 questions to go through, but as you know, when we get going, sometimes it's hard to reel it in and bring it back. But that's fine. We have to be fluid and flexible with our approach to the podcast. My words on motivation is, if you can find something that gets you to wake up a little bit earlier, puts that spring in your step, makes you feel happy, and gives you that essence of life, that's the motivation you should seek. This has been the MT Podcast. My name is The Citrus, and remember, if the glass isn't half full,
It's empty. Look at them. All of them. Empty. All of them.
somebody did you really just say pom pom on the thing?
I did.